Hi Ashwin, welcome to Film Companion South.
Hi, Baradwaj. I've heard a lot about you. I've seen your videos, but nice to be putting a face together for it.
Yeah, thanks. So this is not about cricket at all, but I have to begin with one question about you being a Chennai boy and playing for Delhi Capitals. Do you feel like some kind of twinge in you that, oh my God, this is like...
Look, I think there is a fair amount of misconception amongst people who live in Tamil Nadu, especially, or the Chennai Super Kings fans for that matter, because they believe I left and went. But unfortunately, the name of the game called auction is not like that.
Right.
So whoever bids for you tends to get you. But I think Kings 11 went that extra mile and got me over at in the last auction. And obviously, I've been traded over to Delhi Capitals in the last year. So from a player's perspective, to say that I was a Chennai Super Kings boy to start off, and for a very long time, Chennai is my place, right? When I say Chennai, I have a lot of pride for it. When I say
right.
Tamil Nadu, in fact, Tamil Nadu is sort of an emotion for me. I really love the fact that I play for Tamil Nadu when I play for Ranji Trophy also. But when it comes to the IPL, it's more about, professional pride. It's like people breaking the bank for getting the right players and putting a team together to win. So it's a matter of pride, and my professional pride is at stake. So wherever I play, I'll put the best performance in.
Okay, great. So that's all. I'm no more cricket questions.
Sure.
Ashwin, people just keep, every time I say I want to talk about the movies, the cricketers, that you have to talk to Ashwin because Ashwin's the encyclopedia of Tamil cinema. What is this reputation that you have built up?
I don't know where you heard this from.
From everybody, latest from Dinesh Karthik.
Right. See, I think Dinesh tends to talk a lot about cinema actually in a very analytical fashion. I love movies in general. It's not just Tamil cinema or anything, any movie. I mean, if I can decipher it and if I can connect, I feel a lot of people see a lot of movies in different languages and different genre, but I feel movie does not have anything called language. It's just open for all, as long as you have the eye to open and understand. For me, movies are a way to connect. Like when I speak to a lot of people in the film industry, also they tell me that you can't do a role which you've not been used to in life. So I just feel it is life in large. I for some reason am not one of those guys who attach myself to stars. I attach to the fun element of it, the comedy side of it, the learning side of it for that matter. If I watch something, at the end of it, I must have learned something. So for me, movie is that particular bit. And enan pada enoda growing up days like cricketer, the routine that I had was I used to go for practice in the morning at 6 o'clock, come back, watch KTV, have a meal, watch KTV again, sleep, get up, watch KTV, another movie, and then I used to go to practice again, come back home. If there is anything to catch up on my engineering days, I'll just catch up for a while and sit at 8 o'clock to watch the next movie on KTV. So this is pretty much how my life was. So I'm not even surprised that movie is a massive connect for me.
You said you are not following the movies for the stars, but I was going to ask you the famous Rajinikanth question, Rajini Fana, Kamal Fana.
Look, I think there's a massive divide, right? When I was in school, there used to be. I come from the era where, hey, na Rajini fanra, hey, na Kamal fanra. On the side I have grown up through, right? And when you went to school and you said you're a Kamal fan, all the Rajini fans will gang up against you. And when you went vice versa, it was the other way around. But I just, over a period of time, I thought I grew out of it. Okay. Eventually, I think both of them are phenomenal. I mean, if you look at how Rajini, a lot of it I think is bad now, right? Because once Rajini became this national icon of late over the last, let's say, a decade or whatever it is, people look at him as some sort of, a superhero types, which is actually not who he is. I have seen all his movies, right? From I have seen till, Basha or Arunachalam. 25 rupees Udayam Theatre ticket la 1,000 rupees ki vittu vaanga vakkilam thiruppi vandirken. So it's like, Rajini is a phenomenal actor who put across hope in a generation of Tamil audience, right? He was that symbol of hope, whereas Kamal was this artist, right, who was, hey, na porandade nadikiradhukku danda abdingra mari. You get that feeling when you see Kamal. And right. Kamal oda comedy genre, oh my god, Bharat, I mean, I can't even start and end. Like, I am a huge fan of his comedy section of movies, and both of them are the greatest gift that Tamil cinema could have got.
If you were to pick one movie for each, what would you pick?
Ayyo. In short, right, okay, Rajini, I have to say it is Basha. I can't move out of Basha. And the first scene la Kamal thala odachone or applause. I used to watch it at Udayam Theatre, right? So that's very near my house in Ashok Nagar. So it's pretty sad. It's gone to dumps now. But At the other side, Kamal or a favorite movie would be Michael Madana Kamarajan. And
Right.
the writing and, the song to open the movie. Michael Madana Kamarajan, I can dissect it scene by scene, dialogue by dialogue. So it's my all-time favorite.
Right. So I'm just going to briefly talk about your YouTube channel. Did that come out of an interest in your films, or how did that happen?
It came out of nowhere, honestly. I mean, the lockdown is was getting very, very monotonous for me. And for a long, long time, there has been this huge misconception when people see you, right? And I just feel, I didn't know about it. But a lot of people who are close to me, who work with me, my friends, my family, they felt that there is this massive divide amongst people in terms of what they thought of me and who I am actually. Because
right. I saw some quote of yours that said, people think I'm arrogant, but I'm not. I don't know where that came out of. So, yeah.
The problem for me, most of my life is I've been positioned or marketed by someone else, right? And I've been conveniently positioned or marketed by people the way they saw me, right? And sometimes in a cricketer's world, when you understand questions in a press conference and answer it properly, it comes across, hey, this guy is not one amongst us here. You know what? He's able to assess the situation and he's able to give it right. But I mean, you will have to blame my parents for that. They gave me good schooling. They put me into an engineering college, and my engineering college wound me up. So I'm likely to understand questions, right? So that's not my problem. But just the other way was, I was actually an all full-time fun-loving person who happened to become a cricketer. So my biggest, I mean, what would you do if I were to ask you, turn the tables and ask you, what would you do if you're man of the match in a cricket game? No, you know what I would do? I would go to my room, I'd order in like amazing South Indian dosa or curd rice, and then sit in front of my laptop and watch Michael Madana Kamarajan. So that's just typically who I am. Or probably, put Skype on and chat with 4 of my friends about gully cricket, how it was very similar to gully cricket type. So I just realized that the monotony of international cricket got to me, and yara patalum, they'll be like, hey, enanga eppa patalum ground la serious ah irkeenga அப்படினுவாங்க. Hey, நான் கிரவுண்டுக்கு போறதுக்கு விளையாடுறதுக்குடா, அவன் 6 4 அடிப்பான், 6 அப்படின்னு பார்த்துட்டு this imaging of what they see on the field, and it gets to you. And I've been doing it for the last 10 to 15 years on the road. You're traveling all the time inside a hotel room, and you hardly get to express yourself. Today, one fine day, somebody will say, put something on Instagram, put something on Twitter, and I mean, okay, it doesn't make any sense. I just feel YouTube is, without my knowledge, I didn't have this knowledge. It's just sort of given me that impetus of expressing myself.
Right.
I actually am. And in fact, I didn't even realize that it would go on to do this, because I was like basically pulling. I mean, I was a pain in the house, like for my parents, for my wife, for my children, for everybody that was working for me. So they all said, "Neenga YouTube channel pandringa." They started. So that's how it all began.
And you also have a very interesting mix of personalities, because you're not going after the typical people. I'm talking only about, because we are trying to keep this to films and music. Among the film personalities, you've interviewed Vishnu Vishal, Madhavan. How did that selection come about?
See, I watch a lot of movies and I connect. You must have watched Minnale, an all-time favorite movie.
Yeah, Minnale I watched, yeah.
So what is your biggest takeaway from Minnale?
My biggest takeaway, the music score.
So music score. என்ன கேட்டீங்கன்னா நான் சொல்லுவேன், மாதவன் என்னமா இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணாரியா ரீமாசன். That's how I look at it, right? And I try and take something to learn. For me it's about learning. And for my biggest takeaway was looking at Madhavan on screen and learning something. For me, Madhavan seemed very left field. He chose scripts very differently. When things were going great and sort of thing, he wanted to move to Bollywood. Then I used to see him and say, okay, is it the Bollywood? Why not just trend in Hollywood or whatever it is? And then I realized people just try to scale up, and some people find the journey. But whereas I look at several other celebrities on actors, and I'm totally impressed with what they do, of course, but I get to see similar things, right? For a question கேட்டிங்கன்னா, who's your favorite actor அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, அவங்க ரஜினி சார் வேற மாதிரி, கமல் வேற மாதிரி, விஜய் வேற மாதிரி, அஜித் வேற மாதிரி அப்படின்னுவாங்க. But nobody says, sir, நான் பெருசா ஹீரோலாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ண மாட்டேன் சார், என்னோட பேசிக் hunch and follow. You don't get to listen to such people, right? For me, I was looking out for characters who will give me the body of work. So when I saw that, I felt like these people can.
Right. And so tell me the one thing that you said that you can take away something, right? So from Madhavan and from Vishnu Vishal, what is the one takeaway that you got from both of them?
See, I felt like Vishnu Vishal is very, very intriguing for me. And to me, why Vishnu Vishal is very intriguing is because obviously there is a connect. I played cricket with him. That's one.
Right.
Like you get that feeling, right? One amongst us. So when I look at Vishnu Vishal, I see this guy comfortably playing second fiddle all the time. Completely allowing the story to evolve. Okay, the story is the hero,
right.
And you don't get to see that a lot in Tamil movies, right? I watch every movie. Even if somebody tells me this movie is not good, I watch it.
Right.
To see if there is something. Can I feel happy? Can I put a smile on my face at least? Worst come. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு I watch movies. When I watch Vishnu Vishal, I'm like, wow, நம்ம கூட அந்த பையன் என்ன இப்படி நடிக்கிறான். So let's just say ஒரு வெண்ணிலா கபடி குழு comfortably died at the end of the movie, right? And I would count with my, with just a couple of fingers about how many number of heroes would want to do that. Yeah. So I said, okay, the story is the winner. The movie is an even bigger winner. Okay, let's see what this guy can do.
Right.
Then you go on, you see Munda Supati. Then you go on, you see something else. Then there is a Kullanari Kuttam, and anything he touches seems to be turning to gold, right? And in a very different way. And that's amazing. To let the story take precedence is an amazing thing. And in fact, he lets co-stars take the precedence.
Right. So would you say that for you, the main thing about the movie is, like you said, it's not the star, but what the overall experience is like. It's not just that there are 5 jokes in Michael Madana Kamarajan. It's the fact that the whole thing has been done well. Is that what it is?
Let's just touch Michael Madana Kamarajan in short, right? Tell me who the hero of Michael Madana Kamarajan is.
Crazy Mohan. Kamal Haasan. I'm saying, talking about the writing.
I would take it one step and say Delhi Ganesh and Nagesh.
Right.
Even for that matter, Santana Bharati in that song, Vechalum Vekalam Malli Ponal Malli Vasam song, unreal.
Yeah.
And the first scene starting, hey, Michael, police kita maatikalam. So adella vandu very, very small roles. But if you look at Kamal's movies, these characters, let's say Nazar, later on in Avation movie, there is like that character has a body, right?
Yeah.
You feel like, okay, this character, sure shot. If you look at Vetrimaran's movie for that matter, and the Visaranai, and later on now in Vadachennai, Dhanush is the hero in Vadachennai, but Samudrakani's work, wow, right? They are able to translate and do justice to the character. Once the character does justice to the role, then I feel I get a wholesome experience.
Right.
I don't watch a movie for the hero. I watch a movie because, boss, I paid $150, entertain me. So that's why I go to a movie.
No, but you speak really holistically like a critic. So if you decided to switch over to my field, I would be very, very afraid, I think, Ashwin. So let me tell you this. I'm very glad you're playing cricket. Now tell me one thing. What about music? So again, you've grown up with Raja and Rahman. And so what is your taste in both?
Look, I mean, I love music, but I don't go into music in the depth that I go into movies.
Okay.
So I'm just putting a disclaimer there. So, okay. For me, I can directly compare Tamil music to the cricket field that I know. Okay. A lot of people ask this question, Sachina, Kohliya, Dhoniya, Kohliya. It's a very cliched question. I think it comes from the fact that we are in Kollywood, right?
Right.
You need 2 things to compare. And so these questions are stupidity as far as I'm concerned, because it's evolution. So without MSV, we would have not had Ilayaraja. Without Ilayaraja, Rahman would have not happened.
Right.
I am 100% sure. So you are building on legacy that somebody else leaves. And for me, Ilayaraja is like, wine that sits in a cellar. And I think his music will be evergreen.
Right.
But without Rahman, we would have not explored all these new dimensions that we are aware of. I'm just sad on one thing, that Tamil music industry still does not have a massively well concocted or a concert culture. Concerts, with the kind of music expertise they have.
Right. So I was not going after comparison. I was saying your experiences with like this music and that music. So, and I'm glad you brought in MSV, because typically people don't talk about him. So I was like, if you can talk about, let's say, your favorite MSV songs, Ilayaraja songs, favorites, I'm sure we have hundreds, but just mention a few of all 3.
When I went into comparison, the reason why I went into it was I've always wanted to address it.
Right.
Okay. And I felt like comparing people, it's like basically selling, right? Yes, like selling commodities, we sell people.
Yeah.
We sell them. And when you're selling them, what happens is there is a lot of misconception that happens. ஒரு ரெண்டு பெரிய ஸ்டார்ஸோட ஃபேன்ஸ் இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா most often trivial materials, we tend to fight over trivial things. And பெருசா larger goal விட்டுறோம். And that fanfare, I was seeing somewhere recently on Comic Stan or somebody was mentioning, we go to a movie screen to choose who our next political leader is going to be. Right? And that's, I mean, I don't know how that works. I think things will change. But for me, in all honesty, I think when I spoke about music, it's the same thing. Yeah, Indian mentality is to say, hey, ivar betra, our betra. Hey, எல்லாருமே good தான். Everybody is great. Everybody is a trendsetter. They're all torch bearers in some way or the other.
Right.
So why I spoke about MSV was because MSV was, if you look, நீங்க எனக்கு MSV ன்னு சொன்னா உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஞாபகம் வரும்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அவரோட அந்த ஹார்மோனியம் பத்தி தான் ஞாபகம் வருது. எனக்கு அதான் ஞாபகம். So when he started, lyrics கவ்வளவு importance. He put, like I said, the body of work, character roles. Likewise, MSV was a character artist in the movie industry, where he brought character to music, let lyrics rule the roost. And then came Ilayaraja, who said, okay, lyrics, wonderful, lyrics are great, you will listen to the lyrics, but I will add some amazing music and amazing experiences. Then came AR Rahman. AR Rahman, FD, he's brought everything new, everything modern. He's like, so to say, he's a modern maths teacher.
Right. So now you made me really curious, because I really need to know the kind of music that Ashwin likes. So tell me a few songs of each of these guys, each of these people that kind of rocks your world.
If I'm going into a game or something, if I have to listen to music, it's AR Rahman.
Okay.
Once the game is done, it's Ilayaraja. Good or bad, there are always other Ebdina. For every moment, there is Ilayaraja Madri. So you've got Ilayaraja for every moment. Happy games, Ilayaraja. And when the sun sets and the moon races, Ilayaraja also races. I don't know, they call this chemical called melatonin, right? Melatonin creeps in and you get to sleep money. Ilayaraja is that instigator for melatonin. So I feel Ilayaraja there. And a lot of times when I'm on off day, sitting and chilling and contemplating, I feel MSV sticks out.
Right.
And nariya lyrics ka kepa MSV.
Right. There is one thing that's very similar between film stars and or people in the film industry and people in the cricket. I'm not even going to go into sports, cricket specifically. There are some who feel that as Indians, these are the only two things that we really care about. We either care about cinema or we care about sports, and that the people here receive a disproportionate amount of attention compared to, let's say, scientists or people in other fields who are doing a lot of good work. But just because people want to read about, and justifiably so, because you entertain us, so we want to know more about you. What is your thing about the fact that films and cricket dominate so much? What is your reaction to the fact that they dominate our discourse so much?
I think just say films and cricket is the right way to put it. Films and sports is also a very unfair way of putting it, I feel.
Yeah.
And people who feel left out because of that are justified. I must say they're justified in doing so. The reason why this is happening is because we are not an entirely sports-driven country yet.
Right.
If we are a sporting nation as a whole, we are basically embarking on some unreal journey. We've got Sindhu and Saina Nehwal and then Srikanth, who are now throwing their hat in with badminton. Likewise, there is another industry which is opening up, which is a stand-up comedy section, right? And then you have the TV stars. Things are opening up, but these things must open up real quick, in my opinion, because this is a generation of social media and it's very quick. Information travels very quickly. And I would recommend this. Let's just take an example. Films, that's why I think play a very, very important role here, because films tend to encapsulate people from different walks of life. Let's just take Mission Mangal for an example. Mission Mangal is a movie which showcased how Indian scientists are amazing, right? But still, the movie Mission Mangal is popular. The scientists who did that are not popular, because we are still going for clickbaits on Akshay Kumar and Vidya Balan, rather than the media searching the scientist and doing a lovely story. And I think what's missing from the movie industry is the story of such people, right? There is a story of a success here, okay?
Right.
Let's just say Mission Mangal was a success story. But what about the scientist? Can you show us the life of the scientist? They show you a little bit about what Vidya Balan's life seems like at home and all that.
Right.
But what about the journey?
Right.
So I think films can play a larger role in terms of opening people up. And that's why I asked the question to a lot of them, why are films still centered around characters rather than around the stories? And I think that's one area where the OTT segment will really take over in terms of elaborating and enhancing a particular story and giving opportunity for so many different characters and stories to, sort of really take shape and show the audience what life is all about. We live in a very small cocoon, Bharat, if I may call you so. And I think that cocoon needs to really open up. And I think it's about time we opened it up. And films are not just a medium of business anymore. They are a medium of responsibility. And like they say, when a cricketer or anyone, when we put something, right, when we endorse a brand, there are people who are watching and tell you, hey, you know what? There are so many people who are following you. You need to be careful about what you're doing.
Right.
I think that goes across people who are sharing that limelight and who are in the forefront to be able to take social responsibility for what they do. There is an amount of social responsibility that goes into the film industry more than the sporting industry, because a sporting industry is live action.
Right.
Whereas the film industry is a
planned out.
Correct. So there is more responsibility, and there are, whatever you may say, in India, film takes precedence over sport as well. So film reaches every corner of the street, right? And so there is an amount of responsibility. And when I do talk to stars as well, they feel, my responsibility is to make sure my movies get into a hit. I agree.
Right.
Agree. I'm not denying it. It is a business and you need to do it. But sure, there is something called as a responsibility about what I reach to my audience.
Right. So Ashwin, when I see your chats, right, your Instagram chats, or which you then convert to videos and put them up on your YouTube sometimes, I see you're relaxing into the role of a talk show host. Do you have any acting ambitions? Because you're really comfortable in front of the camera. So
no, I mean, I'm not sure I'll be entirely. I'm not sure I'll be entirely good at it. See, look, I have a problem, right? I have a massive problem. Whatever I do, I've said this repetitively wherever I've gone. Whatever I want to do in life, I want to be the best. Forget about whether I will be the best, because that's not in my hands. And I take it upon myself to a point of where I stress out myself.
Right.
And I think this itself is a relaxation genre of mine, and I would put it into it there, because I have done some ad film shoots and all that, and I find it, sort of, you're not seeing the end result, right? And you're seeing what you're doing, and can get a little monotonous. So I'm not sure it's a cup of tea for me, but I really, really love the fun aspect and the kind of, I think it's a great opportunity for you to be able to drive positivity. Like I said, you can say having carrot is good for you. Okay. I can also say having pizza is good for you, but the pizza will sell, the carrot won't. I need to sell the carrot 10 times. My whole idea of being in this space is to sell that carrot 10 times by not saying I'm selling it. Right. Because good things sell slowly, and I want to sell it that way.
And you think that your celebrity position helps, because they are more likely to look at the carrot and say, okay, let me at least consider it because R.Ashwin is selling it?
I'm not saying it for the heck of it, but I genuinely don't feel like a celebrity.
No. That let's not even have an argument. You are.
Could be. Right. But over the years, I've tried to. It's not like I've even tried. I hate being one, to be honest.
Right.
Because it takes if you ask me, like there are three aspects to it, right? Would you want to sit in the soup shop next door and have soup, then play cricket, then be a celebrity? If you gave me these three options, I will erase the third one. Because the only simple joys of life that I get is from playing the game and having that soup in the evening. And this has taken away that from me. It's taken the smile away from my face. And I just realized that it's sort of incorrigible. A lot of people grow into it. A lot of people grow into being that celebrity, and then it eats you over. And that's what they call an ego, right? And I think celebrity and ego go hand in hand.
Really?
I do, of course, because that image is some sort of an ego, right? And even if you don't feel it, people around you make you feel it.
Right, but haven't you met any normal, humble celebrities?
I'm sure. I mean, this is not. I'm not talking about let's say everybody. Right. I'm just saying, if I meet 10 people, 5 people are like this and 5 people are not like that. And eventually, everybody that you talk to, every celebrity that you talk to misses all these small things in life, right? And somewhere or the other, I feel the people put together, hey, I just feel common man gets happiness in putting you inside a box, right, and making you sit inside the box. So I think it's a social compulsion.
Right. I think it's also because you like anybody who rises from a middle class background and achieves fame, like you talked about hope right earlier. This is also a kind of hope because somebody like you tells a lot of people that it's possible to get there, and I think that's what's cheered rather than you being I don't think the celebrity matters as much as what you represent, right? I think that's what matters in the larger scheme of things.
You spoke about celebrity and the hope, right? Somebody looks at me. I played street cricket with 100 people. They say, you know what? One amongst us has gone there, and I can go on to become a cricketer. That's great. Great. Let me just turn around and ask you a question. Every single person that's there in Tamil Nadu or Chennai for that matter, I'm just going to only stick there. What will happen if you walk on the road and have a cup of tea?
Nothing.
Nothing will happen. In all honesty, 10 people will come for photographs. 5 people will come and want to speak with you, or 50 people, or 100 people, 1,000 people.
That will happen to a celebrity, yes. Yeah.
But if you did have that chai every single day of the morning, 1,000 people will come down to 100, 100 will come down to 50, 50 will come down to 1. But why don't we do it? It's because the moment you go out there, your sellability becomes lesser.
Yeah.
Because you're just another common man. And anywhere around in the world, this whole branding and imaging is a lot lesser than what it is in India. Like, for example, a Stephen Smith would walk in Australia and buy what he wants if there was a Pondi Bazaar there. Right? A David Warner can do that. But in India, you can still do it, but people don't do it. That's it.
Right. But that also goes back to what you said earlier, right? Because it's like, it's because we don't have the sporting culture that encompasses, we don't have equivalent tennis stars. Like the only field that has stars are cinema and cricket. So those two are disproportionately bigger stars.
Stars are less. Agreed. வெளியில போய் காஃபியோ டீயோ குடிச்சா என்ன ஆயிடும்? நான் ஜெனுவினா சொல்றேன். ஒரு security hassle, not one security hassle has happened for me in Chennai ever in these years. Ever. I am completely in comfort with the kind of people I meet. Even the common man is absolutely humble and decent and genuine.
Right.
It is just that you don't want to do it. And if you don't do it, if this thing of fanfare and celebrity culture doesn't change, things won't change in the country.
So you don't get annoyed, not maybe annoyed is too strong a word, but so you're going out for a meal with your family and then 10 people say, I don't want an autograph or I want a selfie. That means that basically the fact that you're going out for something with your family, that time is being intruded upon by other people. That doesn't bother you?
Okay. I don't know if this will make another sense. I'll give you another analogy. Giving you a direct answer will not get us anywhere. Because the first time I told no to my daughter for a chocolate, she revolted. The second time I did, she cried. Third time, she got conditioned and said, okay, Papa will not give me chocolate. Right? So the first time somebody sees a celebrity on the road, they will annoy you. The second time they see you, they'll say hi. Third time, they'll give you respect. And fourth time, you become one amongst them.
Okay.
Because it is such a rarity. When they see someone, they are enamored, right? And a lot of time you get these audience where they say, you know what, you're all big because of me. Of course we are. Of course we are. Because if we walked around in the road, or if we went around and had a meal in a hotel, and you said, hey Ashwin, how are you? If someone can do that in our country, then we have actually made stride.
Right.
நான் ஒரு நாள் வெளில போறேன், ஏன்னா ஆட்டோகிராஃப் போட்டோகிராஃப் கேட்கறான். நெக்ஸ்ட் டே அந்த ஆள் கேட்க மாட்டான், ஏன்னா ஆல்ரெடி நேத்தே எடுத்துட்டான். 4 நாள் உங்களை வரிசையா பார்த்தா you become one amongst them.
Right.
And we are conditioning people to see us not one amongst them. And that's where the problem is. And I would say people around celebrities who are close and who make the celebrity a business manage to do this more often.
So would you say that with film stars who people are crazy about, you mentioned Rajinikanth, Kamal Haasan, Vijay, Ajit, we talked about the 4 of them. If they follow the same principle, like say they come out and hang out like normal people, do you think that it would be like after 5 days, 6 days, like they would just be mixed into the crowd?
Sir, honestly, I mean,
no, I'm asking a very hypothetical question. So
it is a hypothetical question. I'm just imagining and fantasizing this. Everybody are human beings in flesh and skin, with flesh and skin and blood running through. Yeah, I mean, it's just that we make எவ்வளவு தடவை சார் ஆயிருக்கு நம்ம ஊர்லயே, we make people believe through storylines powerfully in movies saying, here I am, I will do it for you. அப்படின்னு எவ்வளோ பேருக்கு hope கொடுத்துருக்கோம் சார். எத்தனை stars over the years. But anybody who's actually made sense of that hope, there is one person who did, who was way back in the 70s, Mr. M.G. Ramchandran. Right? We provide hope. But we also need to, at the end of the day, we need to believe that we are in flesh and skin as human beings. And this, I believe, is the reality.
Which is the movie that has given you the most hope?
Which is the movie that's given me the most hope? Indian.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not even in doubt, because in that time, the country was, looking forward. There's so many people who are looking to make headway and change things, right? And Pakamode, director Shankar, I always felt was 10-15 years ahead of his time. And you can see, maybe if not more, Ipaguda, he's done this,
2.0.
Robo 2,
yeah,
right?
2.0, yeah.
So Robo 2, he's spoken about, birds being a very important thing. Is that a message? Sometimes message ulla padam India la odradilla, sir. When I speak, or Tamil Nadu le odradilla, when I speak to directors or heroes, they say, boss, you're looking only at Chennai. The BNC centers matter. Abdingranga. If you don't make the BNC centers grow, it will never matter. When are you going to make BNC centers grow? If you make 10 films and 9 films are for the BNC centers to make them believe in only that, then what about the next one movie that you send? Let's say you make a really revolutionary movie, that one movie, it will not run in the BNC centers. So what about my people in the BNC centers? They'll be conditioned to the same chocolate at 25 paise.
But that's what it is right now, yeah.
But then it's a powerful media.
Yeah.
There is a responsibility at your doorstep. Sir, let's just put it this way, sir. I ask you a question. How many people in your film industry come from the BNC centers? எவ்வளோ பேர் கஷ்டப்பட்டு மேல வந்திருக்காங்க சார்? இன்னைக்கு வந்து சென்னையில எவ்வளோ பேர் வந்து they are ruling the roost. அவங்களே அவங்க BNC சென்டர் கிடைக்கலாம், யார் சார் எடுப்பாங்க? And this is something that is, I mean, I find it this way. But I mean, this is a very close topic to me.
Right.
நாளைக்கு if I sit back on my channel and say, boss, நீங்க இப்படி பண்ணுங்க, நல்லது, கேரட் சாப்பிடுங்க, கேரட் சாப்பிட்டா கண்ணுங்க, யாரும் கேட்க மாட்டாங்க சார். ஆனா ஒரு தளபதி விஜயோ இல்ல ஒரு தல அஜித்தோ இல்ல ஒரு ரஜினிகாந்தோ இல்ல கமல் ஹாசனோ முன்னாடி நின்று ஒரு மெசேஜை கன்வே பண்ணாங்கன்னா கேட்பாங்க 100 பேர். அதுதான் பவர்.
Right. So when you say Indian, for the Hope film, you're talking about the fact that the common man can still make a difference. Is that what the hope was?
Of course. What is democracy? Democracy is for the common man.
Right.
Of course. There have been times in my life where I felt that, people don't have hope, right? And so a lot of people, sir, you tell me honestly, how many times or election leave have you seen everybody in your family or friend circle go and vote, sir? என்னப்பா நான் ஓட்டு போட்டு என்னப்பா நடக்கும்? நீங்க ஓட்டு போட்டு ஒண்ணும் நடக்காது சார். அன்லெஸ் அண்ட் அன்டில் மூவிஸ்ல பிஎன்சி சென்டர்ல என்னோட அந்த பிரதர் பிளட்ஜ் எடுக்கிறோம் சார். ஆல் இந்தியன்ஸ் ஆர் மை பிரதர்ஸ் அண்ட் சிஸ்டர்ஸ். அந்த பிரதர்ஸ் அண்ட் சிஸ்டர்ஸ்க்கு இஃப் ஐ டோன்ட் மேக் அ டிஃபரன்ஸ் த்ரூ திஸ் பவர்ஃபுல் ஃபிலிம் மீடியா அண்ட் த்ரூ டிவி, தே வில் ஆல்வேஸ் ஈட் த 25 paise chocolate.
Right. So there is one theory. See, the influence of movies na pata. There is one theory that says that people absorb the bad things from movies. Like if film stars wear a style of a t-shirt or a cap or a cooling glass, then people want to wear it. But if a movie says something good, like if Tare Zameen Par is saying something about dyslexia, or if a movie is trying to educate you about a particular aspect, somehow that doesn't translate into. If a movie is saying that you should not discriminate on the basis of skin color, they watch the movie, but when they come back, they still continue to do what they were doing. Have you seen that happen in real life?
Okay, Indian movie கேட்டிங்க சார். ஓகே, மனிஷா கொய்ராலோட ட்ரெஸ் எத்தனை பேர் போட்டிருப்பாங்க சார்? இல்ல ஒரு ஊர்மிளா மட்டோன்கரோட ட்ரெஸ் எத்தனை பேர் ஃபாலோ பண்ணிருப்பாங்க சார்? இல்ல அந்த சாங்ல அக்கடா நடாங்க வர சாங்ல வந்து ஸ்பீக்கர் எவ்வளவு பேர் வீட்டுல வச்சிருந்திருப்பாங்க? ஆனா யாராவது ஒரு நாள் டர்ன் அரவுண்ட் பண்ணி, நான் ஐ வில் நாட் பே that $1,000 at the license gate அப்படின்னு யாராவது ஒருத்தர் சொல்லியிருக்கோமா? ஏன் சொன்னதில்லை? Because nobody has gone on to write articles. People will write on style statement that Manisha Koirala brought in. But who will write? There is a follow-up to everything. Everybody writes about what sells on paper.
Right.
There needs to be a follow-up. I cannot do a drive campaign or a cleanup campaign and say, hey, you know what? I stand for voting. I stand for donating ice. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரே ஒரு நாள் அதை பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமா அதை ஃபாலோ அப்பே பண்ணல அப்படின்னா eyeballs, right? People are not going to see it. ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல சார், ஐ டொனேஷன் கேம்பெயின்ல நான் ஒரு கண்ணாடி போட்டிருக்கேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அந்த கண்ணாடி கூட வித்து போகும். ஐ டொனேஷன் யாரும் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. இது there is no follow up. இது சார் உங்களை கேக்குறேன் சார், நீங்க ஃபிலிம் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில தான் இருக்கீங்க.
ஃபிலிம் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி வெளியே இருக்கேன்.
ஓகே 1990s இருந்து early 2000s வந்த லவ் ஸ்டோரிக்கு அப்புறம் தமிழ்நாட்டுல லவ் மேரேஜஸ் எவ்வளவு சார் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆச்சு?
அந்த ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக்ஸ்ல எனக்கு தெரியாது.
லவ் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருக்குமா இருக்காதா? 100%. நானே லவ் மேரேஜ்.
100%.
there is an impact, there is an impressionable act, right? Because எடுத்தனால லவ் ஸ்டோரி எடுத்தான் சார். நீங்க கரப்ஷன் போனோம் அப்படின்னா சங்கர் ஒருத்தர் கரப்ஷன் பத்தி படம் எடுத்து யூஸ் கிடையாது. எல்லாரும் எடுக்கணும். நாங்க எல்லாரும் எடுத்தா ஓடுமா சார் அப்படின்னா ஓடலாம், ஓடாமலும் போலாம். ஆனா கமர்ஷியல் படம் யார் எடுத்தாலும் ஓடுதே சார்.
You clearly come across as somebody, Udayam Theatre, you love watching movies on the big screen. Now some of them are saying that all that's going to change, right? Because of the COVID and things like that. We're not going to see that kind of movie mania anymore. People are going to get comfortable watching stuff at home. What is your estimate of all that?
See, I think it's really sad, to be honest. I mean, sitting on this side of the fence as a cricketer, I know how much I miss the game.
Yeah.
There are so many people who miss their livelihoods, sir. A lot of people, they couldn't work on a day-to-day basis. There's so many sad stories that you listen about how people are not able to earn their bread. And likewise, the film industry is badly hurt. I go into the advertisement industry and I see, and people are like, on the light man, a light man, somebody who's a set man, somebody who's like, they say this set team enga appadinu set potta aale. So they are a massive team who depend on that for their daily bread, right? And I really feel sad about it. I hope that the film union, I heard that the film union is doing a fair amount of good job with respect to all those people. But whenever you speak to any star, they say, sir, OTT la irukattum sir, whatever it is, there's nothing like watching a movie. And I agree. Or popcorn or so many people are watching in the movie theater. In fact, I go and watch it in a movie theater even now because the feel is missed.
Right.
I go and watch, but I feel it's really, really a testing time for the entertainment industry as a whole. And I'm not sure how they can make bubbles and open theaters, social distancing. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. The moment it opens up, I'll be one of those first people who will go and watch.
So what about, the film industry and the cricket, as a cricketer, you both depend on audience energy, right? The audience feedback, inputs and things like that. You're playing an IPL without that. What do you feel? How does it feel?
சார் நான் தான் முன்னாடியே சொன்னேன் சார், எனக்கு ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அந்த ஆடியன்ஸோட பல்ஸ்லாம் அவுட்ஸ்டாண்டிங், அதெல்லாம் நோ டவுட். எனக்கு நீங்க கிரிக்கெட்டு நார்மல் திங்ஸ் லைஃப்ல கொடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா நான் ஓகே சார். எனக்கு 10 பேர் கை தட்டணும், 100 பேர் கை தட்டணும். The happiness for me comes out of just putting the ball there and playing it with the bat and competing with another 11 people.
Right, but does the happiness go up when you take a wicket and everybody cheers?
கண்டிப்பா எவ்வளவு தடவை bowling போட்டு விக்கெட் எடுத்து அப்படியே நம்ம திருப்பி பவுண்டரி லைனுக்கு நடந்து வருவோம், எழுந்து நின்னு ஒரு 1000 பேர் கையெல்லாம் தட்டுவாங்க. அதெல்லாம் வேற லெவல் ஃபீலிங் சார். இன்ஃபேக்ட் டெஸ்ட் மேட்ச் சென்னையில் ஆடும்போது I used to remember, like bowling போட்டு விக்கெட்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு வந்தீங்கன்னா அப்படியே entire stands will go up in unison. ஒரு entire அப்படியே கை தட்டுவாங்க. அதெல்லாம் see the crowds are like, they are like your blood vessels, white blood cells, red blood cells மாதிரி அவங்க எல்லாமே there's nothing. அவங்க பார்க்காம மேட்சே இல்ல சார். பட் ஐ எம் ஷுர் the ratings through the TV will go through the roof. I have no doubts about it. People have been starved of it. But I'm really hoping things will, start bouncing back. And whatever said and done, people are looking to bounce back. Everybody, what I saw, everybody is starting to wear a mask. At least they are aware corona or threat irukku அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு. So I'm sure we will learn how to live with it in a very responsible way.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Ashwin. Thanks for coming here, because I thought this was going to be a different kind of interview where we'll be talking a lot more about individual people. But I think what you drove it towards was also very interesting. You kind of gave a macro perspective on a lot of things that I was kind of asking about. So that was really interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.